which one has strength, what are the weaknesses of these techniques, what are the strengths, and because of that, where they will be most suitable, right? I have a comparison of 4 actually, so you can just ignore UCP. It used to be used earlier because we were writing requirement in use cases, but no more it is there. So I just give you the color code. A red means this is a negative side. A green means is a positive side. Blue is neutral, and and amber is somewhat negative. No, it's not a positive thing, such, right? So FPA adjusts the size for performance and environmental factor. That's the only functionality, only method which can adjust the performance and environmental and the productivity also, which is not there in WBS and the story points. So they largely focused on the efforts based estimation, which may not be that good as such. FPA estimate the functionality by being delivered by the user. So we in this, what is delivered to the user, and WBS and story point largely based on how much effort the development team will take to develop that. So in that sense, lesser productivity may be more costly to the customer, while not will be in the case of FPA. FPA has well-defined rule for assigning complexity, which is not there in WBS, largely expert judgment, and story point is fully expert judgment. But because of these defined rules and regulation, etc., FPA turn out to be more complex and understanding, right? While WBS is simple and story point is fairly very simple, you can see this. All have completed entire assignment, which was actually most of the group struggled for other two, right? So it is fairly simple. Story point is fairly simple. WBS is okay, and FPA is complex. FPA, like every individual transaction, is measured for complexity. Now, WBS, the transaction may be clubbed together depending upon this, and complexity, volume, etc. Everything gets submerged, and it is at the end of the day developers' overall understanding of the story. FPA has a standard, industry standard, and you can use it for benchmarking. WBS is the oldest method, complex, but there is no standard attached to it, though it is very popular. And story points are very popular in Agile. In fact, this is the de facto method. Okay. FPA need training. Without training, you don't think it can be done. WBS requires experience. And story point generally are lighter on that side, neither required that much of experience. Some training is required, some but not that much as such. Can easily be grabbed and get started, and in a few iterations you will get a good idea about how to do it. FPA may be mandated by client. The story point can also be, while WBS lead to several kind of discussions, disagreements also, because it's generally an expert's opinion. FPA is independent on technology. That's a good side, because technology independence should be there, while WBS and story points are completely driven by technologies. FPA can be applied to any software projects. WBS can also be applied, but story points are largely for agile projects. FPA can be done early in the cycle. As I said, that you need a lot of DETs and FTRs and RETs, etc. But in the initial stage, you may not have. So what we do in initial stage, we said, oh, fine, we don't have details. Let's consider every transaction as an average. So every EI is an average, every EO is an average, every EQ is an average, and ILF, EIF also we consider average. And by considering them average, we have seen that it's quite close to the actuals. So not very too much. So it's a pretty much a strength in that sense. WAS can be used anytime in the beginning or in the late, but FPA generally used early and when we are actually starting the project or pre-starting the project. Story point has to be used at the time of development. You cannot use it in the beginning. You have to need very much detailed. Developer should be able to get details and able to understand how much the effort is. FPA generally clip with the parametric approach, so it's a good idea. In WBS, you can apply it. However, we do not have, but in our example, we do apply the parametric. Story points, it may not be necessary, it may not be required, or it may not be possible because every story size in every project is different. FP has a perception that it cannot be used for latest technology. Often people question me, even ask me also. WBS is a de facto standard. Everybody use it. And story point, if you are taking Agile, you're going to do it. That is also easily understood that it is meant for that purpose. FPA, it is least likely the actual developer will be doing it. While if an actual developer does it, it will be very good, but it is least likely. WBS generally required experts, so it's generally done by experts, and story points can be done by developers. In fact, it is meant for developers, and that's it. So overall, if you say story point is a very suitable method when you are actually developing the application, you are in development phase. FPA is a better option when customer reach out to you initially with a bunch of requirement and say, can you tell me how much time it will take? FPA is a better option in that sense because story point, you may not be able to do it. WBS can be used either of the time, and more the details you keep getting, more accuracy you keep getting from the